Readers Entertainment Radio presents Booklights with your host, author Lisa Kessler. Booklights, where we're shining a light on good books.
Hello, everyone. It's still July. If you don't remember me, it's been about a month since we've had a Booklight show, but I'm Lisa Kessler, your host, and I write paranormal romances and also thrillers now as well. And thank you so much for those who sent messages of encouragement. My dad had that big health scare and I was out of town. And so anyway, I missed you guys this last month. I'm really excited, though, because today we have an international author on calling us all the way from over in Greece. And it's Karina Kantas. She writes a little bit of everything, so I can't wait for you guys to meet her. If you haven't read her books yet, I'll read her bio here so you can get to know her. Karina is a best-selling author of 14 titles covering most fiction genres, including thriller novels and award-winning young adult fiction. She's also won awards for her documentary and short films at international film festivals, so she's multi-talented. She's also a booktuber, a podcaster, a radio host, and also owns Author Assist, helping indie authors with promoting and marketing their books. You can learn more at her website. I did put a link there, right there on the Blog Talk site, so if you're listening live today or if you're listening later, feel free to click that link anytime and see what she's up to. There's a whole bunch of content over there on her website, and I don't want to delay any longer. Are you there, Karina?
I am.
Thanks so much for being on the show today. So you have a whole bunch of different genre books, and I had tried to track down the most recent one, and I thought it was the YA fantasy, but you told me before the show that you actually have some new dark romances that just came out, right? Road Rage and Road Construction?
Yeah, Road Rage and Broken Chains.
Oh, Broken Chains. Okay, sorry. Obviously, I can't hear very well all the way over here around the world.
I like that title, though, for a book, Road Construction.
Well, you know, now I'm giving you hints for the next book in the series. Dark Romance Construction Worker.
Dark romance is it's a new genre to some people, but it's actually really taking over when it comes to sales. Women love to read about sex, as we already know, because of erotica and 50 Shades and all that. But they also love to read about violence. I don't know why, but it gets them going, I suppose. So books with sex and violence mixed together are becoming bestsellers. And I knew when I wrote it, when I started writing Broken Chains, which is a dark mafia thriller, I knew when I started writing it that it was a very special book. I knew before I finished it that it was going to be my bestseller, and it has. It's currently being worked on as an audio. It's translated in Greek. It's being translated into Italian and French as we speak.
Wow.
This is a book that involves MI5 in the UK and the Italian, the Greek, and the Russian mafia. So
wow.
It's very explicit, it's very graphic, and women are loving it.
Wow. And I didn't even know there was a Greek mafia, too. That's cool. How did you rope in all of those different things into one book?
Well, what happens with me is I said you get a passion for a genre, which is why I have so many books in different fiction genres. And I have to binge read these books in this genre, and then I have to watch all the films in that genre and watch all the TV shows. So I went through maybe 30, 40 books to do with mafia. I watched The Godfather. I watched, what were the other ones? All the ones with Al Pacino and
Scarface.
Not Scarface, a bit older than that. Reservoir Dogs was another one. There's so many, but I watched them all, and then I watched TV shows. And when I'm finally full, and my addiction for this genre is over, then I'm ready to write my own. And so after reading and watching, I had my own story. And it wasn't something taken from someone else's book. This was something that came to me. It started off as a short story, which you can actually find in my short story collection, Heads and Tails. It started off as a short story called Spooks. I took that short story and left that as a prologue to Broken Chains. And so it started off as a story about MI5 and agents and stuff. And then suddenly the Greek mafia came into it. Lots of twists, so I can't give too much away. And then the Italian and the Russian decided to gate crash. So when you're having mafia characters screaming in your head all the time, you have to listen to them. And so they needed to be put in the book as well. And it just all fitted together like a puzzle. It was just so perfectly in sync with each other of how each of them played a main part of the book. And this one character, poor girl, I put her through hell and back. Does she get her happy ever after? I don't know. You'd have to get the book to find out.
Well, I love the idea that it started with a short story. That actually happened to me too. My first werewolf pack, Moonlight, the first chapter of it was actually a short story that I wrote. And then my husband kept pushing me to find out, so what happens next? And next thing I knew, I had a whole series off of it from that one short story. So I love that you use that for inspiration.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was going to work on that and make it into a novel from that short story. I had no idea it was going to turn into a dark mafia romance. Well, you don't. When you start a book, you have an idea. I don't plot. I'm a pantser. So
me too.
I have an idea. I know where I'm going to go. I don't know where I'm going to end up. And you just let the characters tell you where to go. You let the story, it basically writes itself. I know that's hard to believe for people listening now, but when you're in the zone and you're writing, your fingers are just rushing over the keyboard. You don't pay attention to what you're doing. And when you look at it later on, when you're out of the zone, you've written gold. And that being in the zone is the most amazing place to be, because that's when the best writing comes out.
That's true. But I also have times when I need the book to get done and things aren't flowing, and I look at my friends who are plotters with so much envy. You guys know what's going to happen. I wish I knew. Do you ever hit times like that?
Yeah, well, sometimes I have to write a few notes down for later on to remember things and not have to go through a manuscript on Word Find to look for what I'm searching for. Yeah, but that's about the most plotting I do for any of my books so far.
Yeah, I'm not a big plotter either, but sometimes I wish I was.
Luckily, I don't have deadlines. I write when I want to write. I write when I'm ready to write. So I don't give myself a forced so many words each day or anything like that. So, and of course, with my business and doing everything else that I'm doing, I'm working 10 hours a day on that during the week, and I only have the weekend to promote my books and to write.
Wow. Well, since that sort of dovetails into it, so you have your own side business where you help other indie authors. Do you want to tell everybody about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. It's called Author Assist. It started in 2015. And basically, I help from anywhere to brainstorming an idea, right through to the publishing process, then the marketing and promotion of their books. So many people hold their beautiful book in their hands and think, now what? And they haven't a clue the next step. Some people hold the book in their hand and it's not beautiful because they haven't got a professional cover. They never had it professionally edited. It's not been formatted correctly. They need help. that shouldn't,
right.
that book should not be published. And then you have others that are fortunately burnt by vanity presses that are still out there, and they've paid so much money to have their book published with all of these dreams given to them. And when they finally get the book in their hand, it hasn't even been edited, and there's nothing they can do, and they won't get their money back, and they'll keep asking for more and more money. And so, I mean, again, I've helped authors get out of that situation as well. So I'm basically your fairy godmother. I'm fairy godmother to authors. I've been in this business 27 years, and everything I've learned, I want to give back to authors. So not only do I do services like a VA and promote their book during the week, whatever, I also do one-on-one training, and I teach them how to do it themselves, so they never have to pay for someone to do it again.
I love that. And if there's someone listening who's, thinking about writing a book, or maybe they wrote a nano book and they don't know what to do with it next, how do they contact you for help with that?
You can find my website, which is Author Assist on WordPress.com, and my email, which is Kantas, Kantas, Author Assist, all small letters, @gmail.com. And you can find me, contact me as Karina Kantas on Facebook. I'll still answer you, even if it's to do with business. I'm on there nearly 24/7, so you'll always catch me on there.
I love that.
May I read the blurb for Broken Chains?
Sure.
Okay. If only she'd stuck to singing in bars. If only the idea of wanting to become an author had never entered her mind. If only she never met Alex. That one meeting caused an avalanche of fate to clash with a dangerous destiny that forced Liz Finley to become one of the most wanted women in the world. Stalked by 3 deadly mafia bosses, Liz has to learn to survive, passed from one brutal hand to another, tortured and abused. It's her blood, her name, which lands her in trouble each time. Now it's up to Liz to find the strength, accept and become who she's meant to be, and finally break the chains that bind her.
Oh, I love it. It sounds very intriguing. And how much of you is in her if she's a writer?
yeah, exactly. Well, as an author, you always put yourself in all of your books. So, I mean, there's some very dark and violent scenes in this book, because I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm talking about the mafia here. And so,
right.
I like I say, I mean, I don't bother with trigger warnings. You know from my cover, you know from the blurb what you're going to get, and if you don't want to read that kind of book, don't buy it. But I've had to go through basically what she went through. I had to put myself in her shoes and go through those graphic scenes that she did, and it takes you to a dark place. But when that happens, that's when the writing again is gold, because it comes out how it's supposed to come out. It puts the reader in that situation so they can feel what she's feeling. It takes them away from the reality they're living now into a totally different one. But it's so exciting at the same time. And when you think you know what's going on in that book, you really don't. There are so many twists to it. So it's intriguing. So it's dark romance is just taken over now, and I'm so proud of the book. It's got 5-star reviews all down the board. Been reviewed editorial with the Kane top pick of Author Shout Awards, also top 10 of Indie Book Awards, and it's. I don't think it's going to be the last mafia book I write. It is a standalone, so you don't need to read anyone before or after. Broken Chains, it is a standalone. If I do another mafia book, it will be, again, a different mafia, different situation. It wouldn't be a series.
Okay.
The only series will be a mafia series, but it won't be follow-on. But with Road Rage, which is book 4 of a series, again, it's a standalone. You can read it without reading the ones before it. This is a dark motorcycle club romance. We call this dark MC romance, MC standing for motorcycle club. We're referring to outlaw motorcycle clubs such as Hells Angels, Mongrels, and other ones you may have heard of. And if you ever watch the TV program Sons of Anarchy, you get an idea what you're going to get from this book. It's a fast-paced, dark romance, plenty of mischief, murder, and mayhem. Beautiful and yet scarred, Jem works in the supermarket, living the safe life she's chosen after surviving a violent past running with an outlaw motorcycle club. Excitement beckons in the form of a handsome biker named Shep, who introduces her to the rest of his legit racing club, Rage. However, members of Rage won't accept Jem until she proves herself, and Shep sees her as no more than a trophy for his drugged-up ego. Jem then makes the mistake of getting involved in Rage's illegal activities, which lands her back in the arms of the outlaw motorcycle club and a horrific conclusion. Again, this one, when I say part of the series, you don't need to read the books before, because the only reason they're in a series is because they're all about outlaw motorcycle clubs, but they do not follow on. This is a whole different book. And what started out, again, as a book that I wanted to write about a different kind of motorcycle club, not the Hells Angels type outlaw. I wanted to write about the sponsored racing circuit superbike club. So they're the ones who go racing around the circuits on those beautiful machines. So the story started off with Rage being this superbike racing club. But then the Hawks decided to gate crash. And the Hawks are the outlaw motorcycle club. And so if you see the actual cover, you'll see 2 different types of clubs on the front cover. And, it started off as one thing, and they gate crashed and basically told me they had to be in the book or else. And so I put them in, and again, they meshed so well together. The story lines up so well, and again, I put my main character through hell, and again, it's graphic, explicit, and it's a really exciting book, and that's Road Rage.
Oh, very nice. And that one is a series, though? Are there going to be other books in it?
When I say the series, right now there's In Times of Violence, Huntress, Lawless Justice, and Road Rage. Now, the only 2 that will actually follow on to one another is In Times of Violence and Huntress. Lawless Justice is a vigilante thriller about an outlaw motorcycle club, but a female outlaw motorcycle club called the Kittens. And then Road Rage is about 2 totally different types of motorcycle clubs, the outlaw and the ones that in the public look like they are legit, even though behind closed doors they're not, as you find out in the book. And like I said, the only reason they've been put into a series is because they're all about outlaw motorcycle clubs. So the series is called Outlaw. There won't be any more books in that, but Road Rage and Lawless Justice can both be read as a standalone. Well, so can Huntress. You don't need to read the first book. What happened was...
But if you want to read the whole series, you can binge read it, right? It's all finished?
Of course you can. But In Times of Violence, the first one is young adult, okay? And the rest are all 18 plus. So I can't put a young adult into a box set with 18 plus books. So over the years, I've always had the idea of writing In Times of Violence adult edition. And the reason I left it until now, 27 years later, is because I wasn't ready to write it. But after writing Broken Chains and Road Rage and being in a different style of writing and being a much more of a mature author, I'm ready now to write that book and for it to be what it was supposed to have been from the beginning. So that's what I'm currently working on at the moment.
Oh, wow. So I was going to ask you what's next, but you're rewriting the book to make it adult?
The young adult is going to stay as it is. That's the whole story in itself. What I should have done was just copied that, added some sex, added some violence, and called it Adult Edition, but I didn't. I started writing. I don't know what happened. 4 pages in, I started a brand new story. And I'm 60,000 words in now, and except for the characters' names, it has nothing to do with the young adult version.
Oh, well.
No, I'm glad. I mean, this is how the book was meant to be, and I think that's why it took 27 years before I was ready to write it, because back then I wasn't.
I see, yeah. And so you're going to make a box set of all of them when you finish it?
They've all got new covers now. When In Times of Violence, In Times of Violence adult version is out and published, then the 4 books, Times of Violence, Huntress, Lawless Justice, and Road Rage, would go into a box set.
So you're busy. You have lots of things coming up.
I do, yeah. I have. I'm taking. Eventually, I'll be taking all of my ebooks off of Amazon. I have new imprints for the publications with Ingram Sparks, and I'll be selling directly from my own site, so people can actually pay the author and not pay any greedy corporations.
Wow. So you're going to be off of Amazon. Are you on any of the other sites too, like Kobo and Barnes & Noble?
Yeah, exactly. I'm with Drafted Digital, and all my ebooks will be with Drafted Digital, which covers Apple, iBooks, iPads, whatever, and Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and another 6 other different outlets. My paperback books will be on Amazon because they will be used in Amazon as a bookshelf. It will be published through Ingram Sparks, who then distributes and has the book sold on Amazon and other places.
I see.
Anyone needs
but you're
the
gonna,
book.
But you're going to put them on your website so people can buy them direct?
Exactly. They can get a book for their Kindle directly from me, cheaper than what it costs online, and you are paying the author what the book is worth. It's going in their pocket. You're not paying a third person. And this is the marketplace is changing. This is what's happening now, Lisa.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, there's a lot of things going on with Amazon that makes it hard for authors to be able to eat. So I completely understand.
So many authors are selling directly now because they deserve to be paid for. I mean, publishing a book is not cheap for those that think it's free.
Right.
It's not. It's expensive. And then you have all that time that the author spends marketing and promoting the book. They should get what they pay, what they ask for their book. I mean, the book's mine, they're $4.99 for an ebook. It's nothing, $4.99. And if you bought that
right.
off of Amazon, I would get maybe €1 off that.
Right.
So,
and they have horrible return policies on digital books.
Don't even start me on that, Lisa. Don't even start me on that. Oh my God, I could go on the Amazon rant, but I will not because I am keeping my paperbacks on there because Amazon is the number one book place. It is the number one place people go to buy books. When I promoted Road Rage and Broken Chains, people immediately went to Amazon to get the ebook. They saw the ebook wasn't there and they bought the paperback. I never sold so many paperbacks before in all my books.
Wow.
And then when people
that's
me,
amazing.
Where can I get the Kindle book? Well, you buy it directly from me. Those files can be used on any e-reader, a Nook, Kobo, Kindle, any e-reader, any computer, any reading device. That file that you buy from me you'll be able to read from your Kindle.
I love that. Well, I wanted to ask you, because you have been in publishing for a long time, and our readers are always curious what your writing journey looked like. When did you, decide I'm going to be a writer, and when did your first book come out? How did all that happen for you?
Always had a wild imagination at school. When my English teacher told me that I would never be a writer, it was quite an incentive to prove her wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
horrible.
told I had dyslexia when I was 16 before I left school, and had to do the dog sat on the mat lessons when I was 16, which I didn't have dyslexia in the end. So it was really to prove people that I could do it. Big fan of Essie Hinton's The Outsiders and all her novellas. And I went to the library after reading them all and looked for other books similar, and I could not find any. And I was like, well, there's your hole. There is the hole. There's your marketplace. And so In Times of Violence, Young Adult Edition, was born, and that was published, the first edition, because it's been published a few times now, different covers. The first edition was about 20 years ago. And That's how my journey started. After In Times of Violence, I did many short stories and flash fiction that went into e-zines and anthologies and newspapers and everything. And then I put those together into 2 collections and published them myself once I got the rights back. And then the fans were screaming for a sequel to In Times of Violence. I had no intention of writing another book, I got it out of my system. But, when they start shouting, you have to listen to your fans. So
that's right.
Huntress was born. After Huntress, I decided I was fed up with male, chauvinistic, alpha, dominant clubs, and I wanted a female one. And so Lawless Justice is the next one, and currently being read by someone who maybe turned it into a screenplay.
Oh, exciting. And you write screenplays too, but you haven't done that for your own books yet?
I don't write screenplays. I wish I did. It's a whole different type of writing. I tried. I got through to maybe 2 pages of In Times of Violence and just gave up. It's so much more difficult than writing a novel. Now, I've got my awards for book trailers that I've created for my books and my clients' books. And when you think of an international film festival, you think of full films, 1 hour, 2 hours. But there are actual festivals out there for short films. And I was thinking, well, surely a trailer would be classed as a short film. And so I went to take a look, and they actually had submissions for trailers. So I'm thinking, okay, that's film trailers. But then would they accept a book trailer? I thought, I'll give it a go. I'll put my submission in. 2 years later, 16, 17 awards now for, I think, my documentary and 7 different trailers.
Wow, that's amazing. How cool. Do you still make book trailers?
Oh, yes. That's one of I'm actually making one now for a client. And I actually got an email yesterday to say that my book trailer for Road Rage just won first prize as an experimental film in another international film festival contest. I just got that email today.
Wow, congratulations. You heard it here first, everyone. So where can we go watch the award-winning book trailer?
Over on YouTube. Just look for Karina Kantas, and they are all on there. The narrations, because I do narrations as well, like excerpts from authors' books. All the videos are on there, about 120 different videos. All the book trailers I've done, from the first one that was just music and pictures to now with special effects and video and everything.
That's amazing.
Got stuff to do with marketing on there for authors as well. There's so much on my YouTube channel, so pop over there and subscribe and watch a few videos.
Oh, very nice. Well, we're out of time, but I wanted to ask you really quick, how can readers get in touch after they read the book and they're excited? Are you on Facebook, Twitter? Where do they find you?
I am absolutely everywhere, but if you go to my Linktree, it has every one of my links for my books, for my social media, for my website, for my newsletter, and it's Linktree, and then when you go TR, you do a dot, then EE/Karina Kantas, small letters, and that will take you to every single link from me online.
Oh, perfect. So it's all in one place. Well, thanks so much for being here, Karina. It was great chatting with you again.
Thanks for having me. It's been wonderful speaking with you again, Lisa.
Yeah, you take care, and everybody go out and check out Road Rage, and you can see the award-winning book trailer over on YouTube, but I believe Road Rage is available everywhere, so go grab your copy.
Thanks for joining us on Booklights. Be sure to connect with us at www.readersentertainment.com for articles, blogs, videos, and podcasts that matter to readers.